Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the SHU Sports Report. I'm Taylor Krimmel. Hopefully you're staying warm on this snowy Wednesday. It was a big weekend for Sacred Heart women's basketball. 2 home games, and these home games meant a chance to move above 500 and a chance to move into first place in the conference. Jessica Minetti's squad stepped it up this weekend. On Saturday, the team looked to complete the season sweep of St. Francis Brooklyn. Hannah Kimmel led the way with her 8th double-double of the season, posting 18 points and 12 rebounds. In a stellar performance off the bench, Lorraine Etienne scored 14 points in 15 minutes on perfect 6 of 6 shooting. SHU held the Terriers to 34.6% shooting on the night and went on to win 63-55. Monday night, the Pioneers hosted LIU Brooklyn, a team they had beaten exactly 1 week earlier on the road. After finding out before the game that Bryant suffered its 2nd loss of the season, SHU just needed a win to move into a tie for first place in the NEC. Could the red-hot Pioneers down the Blackbirds to take the top spot? Let's go to the highlights and find out. Sacred Heart taking on LIU. Offensive rebound here. Kelsey Castro with the 3. Then Kimmel, Tarsi, Aaron Stork with the nice layup here. In transition, Adacia Williams, Tarsi, SHU up 10. Then Shelby Hickey with the nice little baseline jumper. Shot clock low. Adacia Williams gets the 3 to fall. Now 3rd quarter, Hannah Kimmel, you can't leave her open like that. Nails the step back. Stork on the drive here. She's going to nail the pull-up J. Sacred Heart up big. 4th quarter, Castro drive, gets the and 1. Then Castro 4-3, and Sacred Heart is going to get the big win, 71-47 final. Hannah Kimmel led the way with her 2nd consecutive double-double, posting 20 points and 10 rebounds, earning her First Choice Hotels NEC Player of the Week award. In addition to moving the Pioneers into first, the win boosted SHU over 500 for the first time this season. Now let's go over to Adam, who has our report from the ice. Adam, how'd the men's team do this weekend?
Well, Taylor, unfortunately, the SHU men's ice hockey team dropped 2 games this weekend to the top team in Atlantic hockey. Missing out on 4 points, the Pioneers fell 2-1 to Robert Morris both Friday and Saturday night. Evan Jasper got things started Friday night at the MIP with a first goal in the first period. Both defenses played tough, with neither team allowing a goal in the second, but the Colonial offense came alive in the third, netting 2 goals for the win. On Saturday, Robert Morris struck first, with Zach Lynch finding the back of the net in the first period. But Zach Luchik answered just 3 minutes and 22 seconds into the second period on the power play goal. Brett Magnus made 28 saves in the game, but couldn't stop Greg Gibson's game-winning goal late in the third period. The Pioneers take this weekend off before hitting the road for a 2-game series at Canisius. Diana, I hear you have a women's hockey update for me.
Thank you, Adam, for the men's update. Now moving on to women's ice hockey, who took on Johnson & Wales this weekend. However, the Tides were not in favor of the Ocean State Wildcats, to the glee of the Pioneers. Sacred Heart downed the Wildcats 6-1 in the first game, then completed the series sweep with a 3-1 victory Saturday, pushing the team back over 500 with a record of 11-10-2. Taylor Moreland led SHU with 3 goals in the 2 games. Unfortunately, last night SHU's momentum was halted as the Pioneers' third-period comeback fell just short in a 4-3 loss to Trinity. Sacred Heart hosts Newman in a 2-game series this weekend at the Sports Center of Connecticut on Senior Day. Sacred Heart bowling team escaped the cold, traveling to Florida to take part in the Wildcat Invitational. It would prove to be a productive trip, taking 2nd overall, while Corinne Maher finished atop the individual field with the highest average pins per frame at 19.98. The Pioneers will continue their season this weekend at the Golden Bear Classic in Reading, Pennsylvania. The Sacred Heart swim team defeated NEC rival St. Francis Brooklyn 126-98 in its final dual meet of the year. The Pioneers won 8 consecutive individual events, as well as the opening medley relay, led by Jillian Crosby and Olivia Deckis, who had 3 victories on the day. Nicole Sauve earned an NEC Rookie of the Week. Tuesday after picking up first and second places in her individual events. I'll be back a little later to talk track, fencing, and tennis, but now we're going to send it back to Taylor for some men's basketball updates.
Thanks, Diana. The men's basketball team, who sat at 5-5 in the NEC going into last week, is on a roll. The Pioneers hosted St. Francis Brooklyn Thursday night in the first of 2 big conference games. After a loss to the Terriers in January, could the Pioneers turn things around? Let's check out the highlights. Sacred Heart taking on St. Francis Brooklyn. Kane Broom. Jordan Allen finds Hone for the layup. Then Broom to Allen for the and one. What a play by Jordan Allen. Then some more great passing here. Allen finds Broom for a nice, easy layup. Foul zone here. Going to find Chris Robinson. He's going to get that one inside. And then foul zone, handoff to Buovats. Gets the 3. Then Kane Broom, a little shake and bake action. Finds foul zone. Foul zone's cooking from 3. He's got it. And then Kane Broom to put the icing on the cake, and there's your dagger. Coming off the win, SHU had another shot at redemption against a team from Brooklyn. After facing off a week ago on MSG, the Blackbirds of LIU Brooklyn came to town. With a win, the Pioneers would have their longest winning streak of the season at 3 games. So let's find out what happened. Sacred Heart taking on LIU. Hohen drive, tie ball game at 28. Then Hohen's going to find Allen for the layup. Now Buovats here is going to take advantage of this mishap, gets the steal, finds Kane Broom, fast break, tie ball game. Then Hohen, corner 3, that is a bucket right there. Now Broom, transition, Quincy McKnight, Knight, LIU. Then, you want to see some defense? How about Tevin foul zone with this block here? What a play by him. Then, threes, we got some of those too. Robinson for 3. Hohen for 3. You want more? How about Hohen again for 3 from the other side? You want more? I got one more for you. Here's Matej Buovats with the 3. Then, Broom, no. Allen, yes. Sacred Heart wins it 98-90. The men travel to Mount St. Mary's this Thursday for a crucial battle against the team they are tied for in 4th. You can catch the action on necfrontrow.com at 6 p.m. Then on Saturday, head up to the pit to watch 2 of the hottest teams in the league as both the men and women host in-state rival Central Connecticut in a doubleheader this Saturday at 1 p.m. and 3:30. The SHU men's volleyball team is still in the hunt for its first win of the season, heading into conference play after facing all ranked teams during the non-conference slate. For more on them, we send it over to Adam, who's now in the coach's corner with first-year head coach Greg Walker.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach Walker, for joining us. Coach, you're midway through the season. This is your first year here at SHU. How are you adapting to the Sacred Heart family?
Well, it's been great. The amount of support, I think as a head coach standpoint, from the support we get from administration, from academic support and stuff, you know, we definitely have our athletes in the right position. I mean, I know our team specifically did a great job academically for last fall. We're hoping to follow through in the spring and hopefully try to get an all academic award as a team. I know they've been working really hard at that. And as far as competition, you know, we're just getting more competitive in the gym, trying to fine-tune some things. The athletes have been great and very receptive. Even on our sister sport side, our women's volleyball team has been great, and the head and the staff at welcoming and keep me on board and stuff. And so it's been amazing. It's been an incredible experience. Definitely one of the best that I've had.
Good to hear. Now, you were recently named head coach of Team USA Sitting Volleyball. What does that mean to you?
Well, it means a lot. I mean, I've been in our USA Volleyball is our national governing body for sport, and in the U.S. and it was a great thing. I've worked my kind of way. I've done a lot of volunteer work in the pipeline, and I wanted something different, and so I went for did some, I guess, coaching advancement things at the USOC down in Colorado Springs, and I came across our program director, and I wanted a different view on volleyball. So I coached women at a high level, men at a high level, and I wanted something different that challenged me. And sitting volleyball came up, and he invited me out, Bill Hammer, and from there I worked my way into an assistant this last quad, and just recently was promoted to head coach to lead them through Rio. Our team qualified in Toronto this last year at the Parapan, so it was great. I mean, it's the first time in over 12 years the USA team's put ourselves in that position. But it's a huge thing. I mean, it's for me, it's exciting. Sometimes I have to remind myself what I'm doing, and but I tell my family all the time, like I have the best job in the world. I mean, I get to travel, I get to work with some incredible people, just great athletes, and but yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I think we're in a good spot, especially going into Rio in the fall. So
Great. Two great matches this weekend at the Pitt Center. You're hosting St. Francis in the NEC Cup. Perennial powerhouse Penn State comes up after that. Give us a preview of what the fans can expect and when they can come out to the matches.
Well, right now, we're coming off a swing of being a non-conference, being 0-7, and in that period, we're trying to look at the positives that we can take out of it. So, what are we actually getting better at? We had a couple significant injuries at the beginning, and this is the first week we're actually going to be in full swing with all of our guys healthy. It's kind of what they've been gearing up for. We, as a staff, with our athletic training, strength and conditioning, agreed that we would rest guys and get them healthy for a conference, since the only way we're getting the NCAA tournament this year, or in general, is if we win our conference. So we got a lot of young guys, a lot of new experiences for them, and so I think we're looking pretty good going into the weekend. Know both head coaches very well, and they're both tough teams. I mean, St. Francis is coming off of a really strong season. Top 15 team for sure, and then and again, Penn State. I mean, they're a top 10 team right now, and they're hot, and they're doing a great job on the court. So as far as what the fans can see, I think we're going to be a very competitive team on the court. We've been working hard the last couple weeks, of just trying to focus on our efficiencies on our side of the court and working on our systems. And the guys have been looking pretty good in practice. So I'm excited to see what we can do this weekend against St. Francis Penn State. But they're two great matches, two of the tougher ones for sure in our conference. And I'm pretty excited to see our guys in action. So
good to hear. Thanks again, Coach. Fans, be sure to catch the Pioneers in action this weekend at the Pitt Center as they host St. Francis U on Friday at 7 and then Penn State at 8. Now let's go back to Diana in the update corner.
Thanks, Adam. From the court to the track, SHU Track and Fields will head into the Northeast Conference Championship in 2 weekends on a high note after Trevor Guerrera took the gold in the mile, running a blistering time of 4 minutes 9.5 seconds to qualify for the IC4A Championships. Also qualifying were Sean Ferguson, Daniel Graw, and the 4x400 men's relay team that consisted of Graw, Carrera, Sebastian Pierre, and Ralph Gangi. Pierre also broke a school record in the 500 meters on the day, as did Selena Sampieri in the pole vault. The women's side had plenty of gold to go around, with 4 placing first, including Hannah Cook, Marina Delmelia, Kayla Lawrence, and Alexandra Caselin. SHU Wrestling closed the home portion of its 2015-16 season Sunday with a pair of dual matches against Bucknell and Princeton. The Pioneers opened the day with a 39-0 loss to Bucknell before falling to the Tigers 39-4. SHU's only win came from Tim Johnson in a 133-pound bout. The women's fencing squad finished their NFC matches going a perfect 6-0, overpowering Vassar, UMass, BU, Dartmouth, Tufts, and Smith College. Leading the Pioneers with a combined record of 17-1 was junior Julia Green in saber and sophomore Caitlin Stan in epee. SHU fencing will be back in action tonight at Columbia University. Men's fencing competed in their final NFC meet of the season, going 4-1 in Northampton, Massachusetts, by posting wins against UMass, BU, Dartmouth, and Tufts. The Pioneers barely missed the sweep, losing 14-13 to Vassar. Once again, Tyler Endy led the team, going 15-0 in foil, finishing his year at 28-2. Sacred Heart finished the NFC season with a record of 6-4. Men's tennis kicked off NEC play in dominant fashion, shutting out St. Francis Brooklyn at Yale this Sunday. Even more impressive, the Pioneers did not drop a set as they improved to 3-2 on the season. SHU returns to Yale on Saturday, hosting Drexel at 5 p.m. Well, that's all we have for the Pioneer action. Back to you, Taylor.
Thank you again, Diana, and that's going to wrap it up for this week's edition of the SHU Sports Report. For Adam Aneritone and Diana Canizaro, I'm Taylor Krimmel. We'll see you back next week.